recording. I think we'll start with a chant to Holy Mother, being that it's her birthday. Is it tomorrow? Today? All the time. Yesterday we had Madhu and I went to the Vedanta Society and they had a puja there, which was really sweet. And there was also a homa indoors, inside bonfire, which is actually not allowed. You're not supposed to do that. But
special occasion.
it
Ma said we could.
was very cool though. I'd never been like specifically in like a Ramakrishna Holy Mother Puja Homa situation. So it was really moving to me. So anyway, being that that's her celebration today, we'll begin with a salutation to her. Maybe I should show for the recording, or just because I want to like flex my altar, but I want to show for the recording. This is Holy Mother here inside. Okay. Oh. Yathaagnerdaahikaa shakti Raamakrishne stitaa hiyaa sarva vidyaa svaruupaam taam Saaradaam pranamaam yahaam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Oh, Holy Mother, you are the power of Ramakrishna. You exist in him as the heat exists in the fire. You are the embodiment of all wisdom. To you, Sarada Devi, we bow, offer our salutations. Let's come to standing. Start very simply, standing on your own 2 feet and feeling the earth below you, letting the bones of your feet spread out. And you might take a soft bend in your knees to be able to feel that kind of give that the floor has, and this kind of relationship between, if you bend your knees, I find it's just a little easier to feel the feet somehow. And then you could even, from the support of your legs, you can feel that you're pressing down without strain or without any extra tension, just that you're allowing your feet to rest down into the ground. And then you'll inhale and reach your arms through the sides, reaching up towards the ceiling, and exhale, lowering the hands back down. Very, very simple. If you want, you could interlace your fingers and do it that way. You could come up onto your toes even. Many ways to do this is just like ways to explore Tadasana. Inhaling, coming up in some way. Maybe with the hands, maybe with interlaced fingers, maybe with the heels. And then exhaling, settling back down onto the floor, hands coming to the sides, heels coming to the ground. And use your whole breath for the whole movement. Good. And you can feel your breath starting to maybe lengthen a little bit. And then just pause in Tadasana, just resting your Hands by your sides, palms facing forward. Notice whatever you notice. Notice the support of the floor underneath you, the way that the floor seems to push up against your feet. And the way that you can just allow the weight of your feet and your legs to relax into the earth. And feel how the spine extends up towards the ceiling, the ribs and arms sort of branching off of the structure of the spine. The head is floating up off of the spine. So there's this great ease in the upper body. Good. And then as you inhale, you can reach your arms up, stretching up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, fold all the way down, Uttanasana, and you can bend your knees as you come down. And then just take a breath here. Inhaling, feeling the space in the ribs, in the back of the heart. And exhale here, just letting the belly relax, letting the spine fold. Good. Now inhale, reach the arms forward until they come alongside your ears. And let that open chest bring you all the way up. Yeah. Exhale, lower the arms down. So of course, this the intention behind bringing the arms forward first is to open the chest. If arms out to the side feels better for you, this is a lot to have the arms out in front of the chest. You're adding a lot of weight to the top of the body. So it's up to you. But once more, we'll inhale, reaching up, arms through the sides or through the front. Exhale, fold all the way down, bending your knees as much as you want. Inhale here, take a full inhalation in this Uttanasana, and exhale. Feel your head or something release into the fold. Inhale, reach the arms forward or out to the sides. In any case, you're opening the chest as you come up, using your whole inhalation to come up. And exhale, lower the arms down. Good. This time you'll inhale, reach the arms up. And you'll exhale and come halfway down. So you could bring your arms, keep your arms extended as you come halfway down, or you could bring them out to the sides, or you could bring them to your back. So you'll come to Ardha Uttanasana on an exhale. Good. Then inhale here in the pose. Inhale. Feel yourself get long. Julie, tuck the chin a little bit. Yeah. Long from head to tail, top of the head to tail. Sorry, I kept you a little too long. The next exhalation, you'll release the rest of the way down. Good, 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 good. Nice. Take a full breath here. And then inhale, reach the arms to open the chest to come up. Breath fills up. Yeah. Yep. Good. Coming all the way up. And exhale, lower the arms. Good. Nice. So what's cool, this Ardha Uttanasana, I'm obsessed with it. I know you guys have probably been teaching this a lot. I imagine that I have been. I'm just obsessed with this pose as being a back bend. Can you feel that? When you inhale here, you can feel that extension through the spine. You can feel your spine getting long. It doesn't matter really where your arms are. And then you can exhale the rest of the way. Just let the back round. So we'll do that one. Yeah, go ahead. Just exploring what that is to inhale in that halfway up position. And then inhale, come all the way up once you've folded. I just feel like that's something we blast through a lot of the time, but it's really a pose in and of itself, right? Exhale, lower the arms down. Once you come back to standing. Yeah. Coming all the way up, lowering the arms down. And just notice whatever you notice, any kind of new space, new kind of anything, just from this brief, very simple practice so far. Good, then turn so that you have some space behind you. We'll take some Surya Namaskar. Building a little heat, maybe facing towards the sun or imagining that you are welcoming in the sun. I love that mantra for Holy Mother. You exist in Ramakrishna as heat exists in fire. Facing the sun, feeling its heat. Inhale, open the arms. Exhale, fold all the way down. Then you can inhale and step back to a plank, or you could hop back to bent elbows, maybe on an exhale or the space after an exhale. Yep. And then lower all the way down on an exhalation. Bend your elbows really close to your body. Nice, nice. Inhale, coming forward to Bhujangasana or upward facing dog. Keeping the shoulders back and down. Chin is tucked. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Use your hands and your feet. Yep. Very good. Very good, very good. Inhale here. Feel the space, the length in the spine. Feel as you exhale, the heels draw back, the legs draw back. You're energizing through the whole structure of the lower body. And then in the space after an exhale, maybe you hop towards your hands. Yeah, wee, good. Inhale, come halfway up. Bring your hands to the sides of your legs to draw your shoulders away from your ears. Yeah, good. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana, let the head go. Inhale, come all the way up, maybe bringing your arms out to the sides as you come up. And exhale, lower the arms down. And pause for a moment, just noticing whatever you notice. Feel the support of the floor underneath your feet. Feel that you can stand here with your full, your real structure, and your full weight is standing on the floor. This sounds kind of like stupid or like duh, but notice that you don't have to push into the floor to stand here and to weigh as much as you do. You are this size and shape. It doesn't take effort to push into the floor with the weight that you are pushing onto the floor, you know? And then notice through the spine, through the upper body, you are a certain height. There's a certain kind of extension that is here. You could, as you breathe in, you can feel extra like opening in the chest, lightness through the upper body, and it doesn't take any pulling. Just as it doesn't take any pushing for you to stand through the structure of your legs, it doesn't take any reaching or pulling to stand through the structure of your upper body. Your spine is long, it just is, and you can breathe into all of that space, all of that open space. We'll take one more Surya Namaskar, and I'll invite you to play with those spaces after the breath is held out, those hops if you want to. So I can cue both ways. So you'll inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold all the way down. And then maybe in the space after an exhale, you could hop back to bent elbows, or you can inhale and step to a plank. And you'll lower down. And inhale, come up into some kind of front body opener, cobra or upward facing dog. Now use an entire exhalation, the whole length of the breath, to come back to downward facing dog. Use your feet. Yeah, good. Inhale here, feel that lightness through the pelvis, through the ribs, through the whole spine. And then exhale, let all the breath out and bend your knees a little more. In the space after the exhale, boing, you can just hop, fly. Whee! Yep. Good. Inhale, come halfway up. And exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Maybe reaching up as you come up. And then exhale, float the arms down by your sides. Turn your palms to face forward. Let your arms be heavy. Again, just noticing the support of the ground, the way that you stand into the ground with some structure, with some sturdiness. And this incredible lightness in the upper body. The ease that you can feel in your face and your neck. The softness around the shoulder blades. Nice. Good. And step your right foot forward, left foot back. So you come into a high lunge. So you'll actually have the back knee, or what's it called? Heel up. Yes. Good. And then you could bring your hands onto your torso and give yourself a little bounce through the knees. So your front knee is really bent and the back knee is a little bit bent and the heel is lifted. Yeah. And feel that you could slip on your rug. You could boing, 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 and you could bounce off that front leg and like go this way, or you could bounce off that back leg and go this way. Just like notice that, like just playing for a second, just noticing that both feet are like doing something and that there's a direction either way, and then come back to center and find what it's like to be right in the middle here in this low lunge, or the high lunge, excuse me, high crescent lunge. And then you can inhale and reach the arms up in any expression that you want. You could open your elbows wide, you could interlace them behind you. Good. Take one more breath here. And then exhale, bring the hands alongside your front foot, press into your hands to step back to downward facing dog. Good. Inhale here. Exhale. And hold the breath out and hop towards your hands. Whee. You're trusting your support of your hands. You're trusting that you're going to land safely. Good. Exhale, releasing, folding. Then you'll inhale and come all the way up. And exhale, just lower your hands down. Then here in Tadasana, feel this sense of stability and also readiness. With both feet on the floor, you could go any direction right now. You could turn, you could go forward, you could go back. There's all of this potential in this stillness here. Readiness. And then step your left foot forward, right foot back. So you're in this high lunge on the other side. I need to adjust this room a little better. And then bend your back knee a little bit, bend your front knee a lot. You can bring your hand onto your body and just feel, again, there's support down into the ground, and how nice that is to feel both feet on the ground. And also the sense that I could go this way, I could go that way. Like I could literally come off of that front foot. That's how strong and powerful this leg is. I could bounce off of it. Yeah. And then finding a place in the middle where you feel like you're on your own 2 feet. The feet are grounded. From the navel down, you feel this kind of whoosh out and down. And then from the navel up, you feel this lightness, and it can express through the arms however you want it to. Each time that you inhale, you can experience this widening, this opening, this lifting of the chest. And each time you exhale, you feel the belly draw towards the spine gently. There's this kind of just assurance in the lower body, in the lower abdomen, in the middle of the body. Good. Yeah. And then exhale, bring the hands to frame the front foot. Press into your hands and your back foot to come to downward facing dog. Good. And then hop your feet towards your hands or walk your feet towards your hands. Nice. And then from this Uttanasana, nice deep bend in the knees. Bend your knees even more. And then you can start to inhale and sort of lift your torso off of your thighs to come to Utkatasana. Any version of this Utkatasana. You could be quite upright if you want, or you could be really low in the hips. But the idea is that your feet are going down, your legs and your pelvis are going down, your chest is going up. Arms could be wherever. They could be alongside your ears if that helps you to open the chest. Otherwise, having your hands on your chest in Anjali Mudra or resting your palms against your chest might be better actually for opening, that sense of opening and lifting. Feel your heels on the floor. Yeah. And then exhale, fold all the way down. Releasing, letting the butt float up. Legs lengthen, knees can be a little bent. Yeah. Good. And then step the left foot back. And feel, keep that, no, bring the back heel down. Yeah. We're going to come up to Virabhadrasana 1. So set your feet up so that you have enough space width-wise. Then you'll press into both feet and come up. So the back foot is at a little bit of an angle. Facing towards the same direction as your right knee. Yeah. So Rebecca, maybe step your feet across or apart a little bit. That way. Yeah. Right foot out a little more right. And then you can feel like you can face forward, bend into that knee, and open up towards the front of the room. Again, feeling that support from the legs is what allows you to breathe up into the chest. Yeah. I have support of the legs and I can just float the arms up. I can float the chest open. And then here's where it might be nice to have blocks. We'll play, or furniture or something. We'll play a little bit with some balance. So with this right foot forward, you can also just use the floor. You'll step your back foot in a little bit. You'll lighten it until you can come into Virabhadrasana 3. Yep. And the toes of the lifted leg point down towards the ground. There can be a little bend in this front knee. Yeah, and you can express through your hands however. I have one hand on the wall for balance because I'm also looking at you guys. Also kind of demonstrating. You could have both hands on the furniture, hands on blocks. Good. And then step the back foot back, coming back to this high lunge with the back heel lifted. Good. And then you can just lower the hands down and come back to downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward, ground the back heel down, inhale and rise up into this Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Arms are however they want to be. Legs are grounded, upper body feels light and easy. So feel into the support of your feet. Feel the way that your feet seem to be stepping into the floor. And you'll keep that quality of stepping down and into the floor as you come shifting forward, bringing your hands to some support. You'll now balance on your left leg. Spin your toes to point down towards the floor. Yeah. And feel that standing leg could have a soft bend if you want. And imagine that it's not just stepping onto the floor, but stomping down into the floor, sinking down into the floor. From that support of the floor, you're able to extend the spine, lift the leg, easy. Good, and then step that lifted leg back to come into a high lunge with the back heel lifted. Opening the chest, beautiful, yeah. Really nice. Exhale, lower the hands down and step back to downward facing dog. Nice. And then hop your feet towards your hands or walk your feet towards your hands. Let the head and neck relax. Take a breath here in this forward bend. Good. And inhale, come halfway up. Exhale to fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, come all the way up. And then exhale, lower just the arms down. And pause, just notice. Notice how, once again, you have now 2 feet on the floor. And invite that sense of the feet stepping, sliding, slipping, sinking down into the ground, like past the surface of the floor. And notice that it takes no effort to stand. Because you have the support of the floor, you're just standing into the floor. It doesn't take a sort of attention, but it can take, you can invite a little bit more of an intention of, I'm standing into the ground. And this should be, it should feel light and easy rather than like coming up against resistance. Same with the upper body. There is space above and around you, and you can melt up, grow up easily into this space, like tree leaves that just unfurl with some ease up into the space around it. I know we've done this before, and I think it's awesome, and I apologize if you don't think it's awesome. We'll do the weird little step touch move. So you'll just stand with both feet on the ground. I don't know why I'm apologizing. This is like my favorite thing. I think it's so cool. So you separate your feet a little bit. Feel the fronts of your hips just opening up. Feel the soles of your feet sinking down. And then without shifting your weight over to the left, just feel your left foot getting a little heavier and allow your right foot to just come off the ground. Like there's a puppeteer pulling your knee up, just no effort in the hip flexor or anything like that. You're standing down into the left foot and letting the right foot come up. And then you'll stand down into your right foot and let the left foot come up. So you could just be like, yeah, step, step. But you can find this kind of down and boing, the other one comes up. And the other foot goes down and then, wow, it's like magic, it comes up. No effort. Feel this shifting side to side as you're stepping to the side and focus more on the down than the leg that's lifting up. Stepping down, and notice how the crown of your head goes up. As you're stepping down into the standing leg, there's a hole kind of up through the spine. This is not something, it's something that we take for granted, that like we don't walk around and are like, whoa, each step I go down and up and down. But you could experience it that way. It's kind of fun. Okay, then come back to just standing and feel this in stillness, this dynamic sort of down and up. Good. Then inhale, reach the arms up, feel the feet sinking down. Exhale, release down into Uttanasana, feel your pelvis floating up. Spine is long, head is heavy, knees can bend. Good, step the left foot back. Ground the back heel down. You'll inhale, press into your feet and float up into that Virabhadrasana 1. This nice heart opening, this easy kind of blooming up through the upper body. Yeah. And then just for fun, come into Virabhadrasana 3 once again, with this kind of sense of letting it be all about the standing leg, softening down into the support of the earth. Spin your toes to the lifted leg. Yeah. And breathe here. Spine is spacious. There's support here. You can use support with your hands. Feel how the standing leg is so strong and clear and open. And then the upper body, the upper back is kind of like Ardha Uttanasana. You can feel, especially on the inhalation, this extension from head to tail. And then just for fun, trusting into your standing leg, you can bring your lifted leg in towards your chest as you come to stand up. And step into your standing leg. Feel the down into your standing leg. The lifted leg is just almost going by itself, no effort to lift it. And then just replace your lifted leg on the ground, come to Tadasana. Feel the softness through the pelvis, the lower back, everything is easy. And resting into the support of the floor. And sometimes you'll get the sense that you feel like a little taller almost, or something like shifts, can shift. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up, opening the chest. Exhale, folding down, releasing the spine. Good. Step your right leg back and ground the back heel. Feel the support of the earth here before you even come up. You'll feel the support through your feet. And then an inhalation will just open you up, bloom you up, open into Virabhadrasana 1. Yeah. And continue to feel the floor underneath your feet and continue to feel the pelvis kind of settling down into this structure. Heart is open to everything and everyone. Why? Because it has the support of the lower body, has this structure. There's no fear. There's no like scarcity or like fear. When you feel supported, then you feel like you can express yourself. You can open the chest. You can open your face. You can soften your facial muscles. You can be generous. You can take something in because you have support from the floor. You can have support from the floor. You can fly. You can come into Virabhadrasana 3, lifting the back foot off the ground, balancing here, standing down into that standing leg like a tree trunk. The tree trunk doesn't just stop at the surface of the ground. It keeps going down and out, like just loving that support of the earth. It crawls through it. Yeah. And then every inhalation, you can feel that expansion, that inhalation into the chest, into the whole spine. Yeah, good. And then keeping that trust in the standing leg, you can bring your lifted leg in towards your chest as you come to stand up. Just thinking about down through the standing leg. That's all you're thinking about, and feel how it bounces right back up through you. I'm stepping into my left leg. That's all I know. And then hear that the spine shoots up, the knee shoots up. It's all so free. And then return your foot to the floor and come to Tadasana, just standing, resting, arms by your side. Good. Letting the breath travel through the whole body, through the whole system. Feeling how it circulates up and down the spine. And then inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, fold all the way down, bending your knees as much as you want. And maybe grab opposite elbows, just hanging, bending your knees. And then plant your hands on either side of your feet and step back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees a lot and shoot your hips up and back towards the back of the room. Push down and forward through the hands, melting the hands into the floor. Like you could press down past the surface of the floor. So from your feet and your hands, you can feel supported, and then the pelvis can just float like a balloon and open, sort of. There's kind of an opening in the base of the pelvis, which is kind of interesting. Your thighs can spin back. There's all of this open space in the pelvis. We're not quite used to feeling that in the day-to-day. Just in our normal movements. This is a unique movement. All of these poses are meant to open up pathways through the whole system, physical, energetic. Nice. And then lower the knees to the ground. Come all the way back to child's pose, balasana, and you can rest your hands back in line with your body, with your fingers pointing back the same direction as your toes. And then let the space between the shoulder blades soften and melt open. This is the back of the heart space, right? You can feel that this space between the shoulder blades is the other side of the heart. We think of the heart as being in the front a lot of the time. It's really in the middle. And if it is like this effulgent, radiant ball of fire, say, some warm flame, then it is warming in all directions. You can feel it blooming out of the back of the shoulder blades now. This is, I think, why so many of us have shoulder tension as a habit, because it's a protection. It's a protection of the heart space, which can feel vulnerable to reveal, to open into. So feel what it feels like to breathe into that space between the shoulder blades, to let the neck be soft. And then come up to a seated pose just for a moment before we transition to lying down. I like to come to a seat first and find an upright, easy upright spine. You can kneel, you could sit cross-legged, and we'll just be here for a few breaths, just noticing what is here. Where does it feel like you have support from the ground? And can you really sit into the ground? Let your body be as heavy as it really is, and let it come into this relationship with the ground. And then the spine, the heart, the space between the shoulder blades is open, easy, floating. Good. And then come to lie down on the ground with your feet flat on the floor and your knees bent. And after so many standing poses and balances, we'll find a little relief for the outer hips and stuff. And feel your feet on the ground first. Just feel the whole back body come into contact with the ground. Notice those places that feel kind of resistant. It's always funny to like just notice. It's like for me, it's like come to the floor. It's like welcome, and then the left shoulder blade is like no. So it takes a couple of breaths to be like no, really, like it can come into the ground. Both of the feet can rest on the ground. Both of the hands, both of the elbows. Because we'll see, we're gonna invite some parts of the body to open so that it needs to feel this sense of I have the support of the ground. very deep. It's not even like we're doing anything super intense or scary, but there, I feel like it helps to just establish first the support of the ground. Then you can bring your right ankle to your left thigh with your right knee will kind of point out to the side, and flex your right foot so that your foot looks like when you're standing. Yeah. Yeah. And then you could just be here and just explore. This is already an opening. You could use your right hand to kind of push your right knee away from you. Your left hand could come to your front of your left hip. And you can just breathe and feel this space across the front of the pelvis. And notice if you've lost the sense of support from the floor or contact with the floor, rest the pelvis back into the floor, rest the shoulders back into the floor. Good. I'm just thinking about when I was reading the Gospel of Holy Mother, something that really struck me that I've thought about a lot is when people would come to her room and she would be like, lay down with me. Like, just come and lay with me. And like, I don't know, that just really moved me whenever I would read that. It seems like something so intimate, you know, and it is. Feel that sense of protection and support and release from the floor. There's something so cozy. Just come lay down with me. Come rest with me. So it's from that sense of support that then if you feel like it, you could open the hips a little bit more dramatically by lifting your left leg off the ground, hugging the back of the hamstring. If you want, it's not necessary. It could be cool. Don't have to do it. If you do lift the leg and you're hugging that leg in for this supine pigeon pose, still keep the back body resting back. Still remember that open feeling across the fronts of the hips, even though now they're flexed. You can still breathe into that space or remember that space. This, I think, will create more of a, just more of a complete opening in the hips, especially over time. Breath can still move through the shape. That's the most important thing. Otherwise, I think the muscles that can stretch will then stretch, and then other places will be neglected. Notice if there's one side or the other that you're leaning towards, and just play with a little bit leaning the other way. Yeah, just a little bit until it gets kind of like, ooh. And then you can just rest there for a few breaths. And then you can replace both feet on the floor, coming back to not just I'm resting my feet on the floor, I'm resting my pelvis on the floor, but also this expanse across the front of the pelvis. You're not in any kind of back bendy pose, but feel this open chest here, right? The openness in the front of the hips can be felt here. And then you'll bring your other foot to your other knee. I think your left ankle to right knee. Flex your left foot so that your knee is nice and supported. Good. And then here, resting back. And this gentle opening that is really caused by the breath moving through this shape. You're not like stretching. actively per se. You might be pushing your left knee out to the side a little bit with your hand. That's okay. But even that is like, it's more of like you're nicely kind of massaging it open with your touch. You're not pushing it into some position that it's not ready for. And you're allowing yourself to be satisfied here, at least for a little while. There's a sweetness here. There's a subtle kind of opening here. And then if you'd like to, you could lift your right knee and come into a deeper hips opening. All the while you're resting back through the back body. It's almost like as you rest back through the back of the head, the back of the shoulders, the back of the pelvis. It becomes less about the hips opening, and then more opening can actually occur. It's coming from a place of support and depth and breath more than anything else. And then can you play with like pulling the knee a little closer or shifting into that uncomfortable version of the pose without it being forced in any way, without it feeling like, that feeling that you're trying to stretch or get somewhere, get something, or make something happen. Yeah. All the while you're listening, I think is you're feeling into the sensation. Mhm. Good. And then you can, when you're ready, place your feet back on the floor. Good. And then with your feet resting on the floor, start to push into your feet and feel your tailbone reach towards your knees. And let the inhalation bring you up into a little bridge pose. Let the back of the shoulders support you. Let the chin be tucked. You could come dynamically in and out of this pose, or you could stay in this. Satupam Sarvangasana. And some of you might like to take shoulder stand if you want. Or you could come back and rest onto your back. Or you could stay in the bridge pose. So many options. If you're in shoulder stand and your legs are reaching up towards the ceiling, you can feel that as you inhale, there's that expanding, just like in Tadasana. It's a very different shape, but now there's this expanding from your feet are reaching up towards the ceiling. As you inhale, there's this opening in the front body. That's what allows your feet to reach up towards the ceiling. You'll come out on an exhale, you can fold your legs back to like a plow pose. You can stay up as long as you want. It's a nice Again, in this shape too, you can feel how the support of the floor lets your feet be totally weightless. And it's just the breath, it's just opening up into that inhalation that allows the body to come into this, the full expression of the shape. You have some kind of support, and then you're open for some kind of, it feels like magic sometimes. Have some kind of support in place, and then it's like you allow the breath to take it from there. Mm-hmm. And then eventually you can come back to lying on your back. So bring your feet to plow, and then you can sequence back down through the spine, rolling back into lying on your back, and then hug your knees in towards your chest for Apanasana, and maybe rock side to side or make circles with your knees to release any holding in the back. Mm-hmm. And then coming into Shavasana for a few moments. If there's any other shape or movement that you want to take first, do that. If Shavasana doesn't feel good any day for whatever reason, you can always just rest your feet flat on the floor, and your knees can be bent and resting against each other. Yeah. Good. And allow yourself to come into this pose in the same way that you set up all the previous poses. You feel where you're touching the ground, where you have support. And if this image is inspiring too, you could feel the sense that you're being invited to rest somewhere really comfortable, really nurturing environment. You can personify the floor a little bit, let it be Mother Earth, inviting you to release, inviting you to stay a while, to rest. You could give the floor some kind of quality of nurturance and softness. And allow yourself to be fueled by that, to be energized by that. The front body is open, effortlessly open. It's just like a plant draws up nutrients from the soil, you can feel that you're being nourished by your ability to release. And the wonderful thing is that this reservoir of support and compassion and care is always there. It's like the mother, like when you are a bratty kid and you just, or whatever, you're in a mood and you don't want, it's like, don't touch me, mom. Like, I don't, she reaches out to hug you and you tense up the shoulders and you kind of shy away from the embrace. you're in your independence, but I don't need you. I can do it myself. Okay. And she'll still be there though. She'll still be there for when at the end of the night when the kid is just so tired, she can't even walk up the stairs. She's given up all of her defenses, all of her independence, and now she can finally be carried and held. So today's practice, we had this strength and support that came from you, right? Or sometimes came from the floor, or both. So just notice what it feels like now, if there's a sense of your energy level, a particular dominant mood, whatever it is, you can just let it be there. Yesterday, one of the Swamis, I don't know what his name is, and I don't know, I think he was visiting, but I'm not sure. I wish I knew who he was. Younger guy who's really sweet. He came up, each of the monks who were there were coming up to speak on Holy Mother, and they each got like a 10-minute slot or something. It's kind of like a stand up, like, you had your time, and they went one after the other. And the last person who spoke stood up full of energy, full of this kind of exuberant energy, came to the podium, and he told a story, which I really liked, about Holy Mother. I'll try and remember it correctly. But there was a little girl who used to come and see Holy Mother all the time, and was just super drawn to her and just loved to visit her, was obsessed with coming, and Holy Mother would give her sweets, and she would just be super stoked whenever she got to go see her. And Holy Mother was going to be traveling. And so it was the last time that the little girl would get to see her for a while. And Holy Mother said, do you love me? She was like, yes. She was like, how much do you love me? And the little girl stretched out her arms and was like, I love you this much. And Holy Mother was like, well, will you still love me once I'm gone, if I'm away and traveling? You won't be able to see me. Will you still love me? And the little girl was like, yes, of course. And Holy Mother asked, how will I know? How will you show me that you love me if I'm not here with you in person? And the little girl was like, a little confused, a little puzzled by the question. She was like, I don't know. How should I let you know? What can I do to let you know that I love you, even when I am not with you and I don't see you? And Holy Mother gave the teaching to this little girl. She said, if you can look around your family at home and love everybody equally, then I'll know that you love me even when we're not together. And thinking this was kind of a tall order, like probably thinking through all the relatives and how there are preferences. There are people that you feel more, you feel more affection towards. And the little girl was like, how do I do that? How can I love everybody equally? And Holy Mother told her if she can love without any expectation, then that's the way to love all people equally. to just love them and to just be open to loving them without any expectation of something in return. I kind of thought the punchline was going to be, when I heard the story, I thought that the punchline was going to be to see Holy Mother in everyone. And that's how you'll love everyone equally, because you'll be able to see that everyone is her, and to have that same really exalted, affectionate love for everyone. Maybe that is the same answer, but anyway. Essentially, a Holy Mother was teaching this little kid how to be like her, you know? Love without expectation. At any point, you can roll over to one side and come up to a seat. Maybe taking with you this nourishment of the floor, the support of the floor, and coming up into an easy upright seat. Continuing to feel the energy or whatever you felt that you were receiving from the floor, let it continue to fill you and circulate through your body. Now, this energy that was cultivated, or this calm, or whatever it is, that you keep it as something positive. If you're totally enraged right now, maybe we'll adjust, but whatever this feeling, just know that this feeling is not limited in any way, that there's not, you could say that you, by practicing, you opened yourself up to this to come into you, or to manifest through you, this feeling, this peace, this energy. So it didn't come from anywhere. It's not something that you could lose. So then there's this freedom of being able to give it away. There's this generosity when you are tapped into this huge reservoir of love, of energy, of compassion. When you get depleted, it's okay. It will come back. It'll fill back up. You're never fully depleted or without it. I feel like that's Holy Mother's vibe to me. She would get sick, and she would get, tired and depleted. She was giving constantly, and there was always a return. It was always coming back. It was always being generated from her, from what she really was. You think about like the labors of love that she performed, all of the work being karma yoga rather than just work or just some action that takes away from your energy. So in a moment, we'll close with the same chant as before, and we'll close our practice. So if you are sitting upright, you might bring your palms together. You're welcome to chant along with me. We'll start Om and then Holy Mother's mantra. You can chant along if you know it. So inhale through the nose and chant. Yathaagnerdaahikaa shakti Ramakrishne stitaa hiyaa sarva vidyaa svaruupaam taam Saaradaam pranamaam yahaam. Om Aim Hrim Sarva Devi svaruupinye Sri Sarada Devi Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you all. See you next time.